Let's hear now from the Manchester United manager.
Eric, what did you make of it?
Oh, yeah, I think it was a good game, brilliant game. Two teams who I think are close together. But in the first half, I think we dominated the game. And that was also, I think, why the opponent, why they switched the system. And then it's going to be a little bit more difficult for us. And that we saw, especially defense-wise, in the last minutes of the first half. But before that, I think we had to get up. Good chances, Rashford twice, Anthony, one-on-ones even with the keeper. So in this moment, you have to use your chances. The second half, I think it was ego. It was a battle between two games or same height. And yeah, in the end, I think then a point that is, I think, justified.
As a coach, is that your frustration that you didn't take those chances when you had the measure of Chelsea, particularly in the first half?
Yeah, especially a team has to feel that you have to finish, and because we were dictating the game, and they played really good in that stage of the game. Defense, but offense, we find the free man in the midfield. We created good chances, and then you have to use them.
When you made your substitutions in the second half, what were you looking to affect?
Now, first of all, it was the fourth game in 10 days, and then you see the one or the other. It's getting they get fatigue, and either in the head or physical, and then you will bring freshness in. And already we make the transfer from in the second half, straight after the second half, we adapt to the system from them, and I think we did it well. Defense, offense, we were not that good on the ball in the second half. We had to bring more switches in. We didn't find the spare man anymore in the midfield, and there was spare man, and especially our fullbacks could have done more with those situations.
Were they attacking substitutions you were trying to make in your mind?
It were attacking options. It were solutions to win this game, to get more dominant in the game. By the first, when we brought in Fred, there was, I think, to bring out Bruno, to get him between the lines, and hopefully we create spaces behind, and then we made also with Scott and with Anthony Elanga, tightness of Marcus Rashford. And also Christian Eriksen. It was a tough game in the second stage of the second half, and you could see big spaces in the midfield. And there Scott McTominay is good. He has power. He can win duels. He has a good press, and he has the power also attacking-wise to come in the box. And that have we seen last week against our opponent in the Europa League.
One of the downsides for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United today was the injury to Rafa Varane, who of course went off in that second half. He has since said they are waiting for a diagnosis, but he clearly looked distressed yet when he came off the pitch.
Yeah, he was very emotional, you know, and you know, if the game, you know, even here they played on, and he fell down, and he just, you know, kept laying on the pitch basically, and then after when he stood up, he was emotional, and looked like when I saw it that he had a problem with the hamstring or whatever, but of course, well, we don't know yet. But it's, yeah, I don't know what to say about this. You know, it's probably things that, you know, ahead of the World Cup or whatever. But I can't understand being so emotional on the pitch, to be honest.
From a centre half's point of view.
Well, no, it's not only from a centre half. I know you're trying to imagine yourself and why is the player that emotional, and why is he acting like that? I think there are like other things that well,
unless he
that are worse than this, I think.
Unless he realised it was something serious.
Well, yeah, that could be, but I don't know. Yeah.
He's already won the World Cup, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he'll be all right.
He wants to win another one.
He'll get over it.
He wants to win another one.
Yeah, he'll be all right. But United won't miss him though. That's the point.
Since he signed, they've conceded twice as many goals with him out of the team in the Premier League as when he's in. That's not a coincidence.
No, he's a big miss. We know we're talking before on about 1v1 defenders.
Yeah, he's a good.
He's capable of that. I think in his top physical condition a few years ago, he was up there with the likes of Yap and Rio. I'm not sure he's quite at that level now. He's picking up a lot of injuries, but he's the one centre half you'd fancy one-on-one. The rest of them, do you think Lindelof's going to come in quite slow? Maguire, we know the troubles he's had. We know Martinez isn't a 1v1 defender, so you wonder how that will affect the team, especially in the middle of the pitch, because you'd be thinking he'll have to play two holding players to try and protect whatever's behind him.
Yeah, because that's been some partnership, hasn't it? Materialising for Varane and Martinez.
It has, yeah, but we just don't see it enough, do we? Because unfortunately he's at the stage of his career now where he seems to be picking up a lot of injuries.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Well enough to win it. Of course we got into the position to win it, but overall really fighting performance from us. We improved a lot after 30 minutes, so in the end we take what we get.
You were clearly concerned when you changed it. What did you see you didn't like the look of, and what were you looking to alter there?
Well, we just couldn't really I didn't feel we get enough control of the game. Probably need an extra body in midfield to try and put a bit more pressure on, to try and create some more turnovers, to try and win the ball. So to have a bit more control of the game, really. So, like I said, I thought we were better after that. But in the end, disappointed to drop the points. But again, another battling, hard-fought game. Boys gave everything, you can see that. We can improve a lot in terms of our attacking play because we can create a bit more, I think. But again, we're playing against a good side.
You said beforehand this isn't about the coaches, but did it in fact turn out to be quite a tactical game?
Well, there's a few adjustments and things. Obviously, that's our job to do that, to try and see the game and try and help, see if we can help the players. But I thought the players' attitude on the pitch was fantastic from our perspective. Boys gave, like I said, gave everything. It's a hard, intense match in the middle of a really busy period, but the boys left everything there, so that's a great foundation for us.
Did you think it was a penalty when it was given?
Well, I'm too far away, and I think the guys on looking at the monitors thought it was, so I listened to them. They're not always right, but I was happy when it went.
And the equaliser, is that one we just have to say it's a magnificent header? There's nothing you can do about it?
Well, we could have got out a bit more connected, but again, it's a good header, great header. Kepa's unlucky a little bit. He could have only just got in, I think. That's our first goal we conceded for a while, but we're disappointed, of course, because it's dropped us 2 points. But in the end, we have to take the positives and appreciate the work the team did, but improvements to be made as well.
Yeah, Chelsea were minutes away from a 6th consecutive clean sheet, but he's still unbeaten in his 8 games in all competitions. More than steady start for life at Chelsea for you, for Graham Potter?
Yeah, I think he's doing well. I think above all, what I like about the way he's taking things forward is defending better. They are conceding not much, and this is, in my opinion, such a very important thing. Even if you are a big team like Chelsea, you have to be strong defensively. Having said that, I don't think it's a job done, because there are still things that they need to be improved. Going forward, I think the team can do better. They have a lot of quality, but I'm sure that it will come. I mean, for a team like Chelsea, first of all, you have to sort out the results, and then obviously you will improve the quality of the rest. But so far, it's been certainly positive.
Just give us a managerial look at it, yeah, because he's coming obviously after somebody else has had the pre-season. Yeah, they're not his buys, and he's made 27 changes in 5 Premier League games, trying to find out about the players.
Yeah, but how long has he been there now?
8 games.
Yeah, 8 games. So it's a very short period, and I think when you come over to a new team, a new group of players, a lot of players, you know them of course from seeing maybe on television, and you see bits of quality. In the training sessions you see more quality, of course, of these players, and then you need to find your right starting 11 at times as well. So you in the way of playing as well, you need to find the right setup in what you want to do. I think Potter, from seeing him when he was working at Brighton as well, if you give him the time, and of course he gets the time, but he will find his way in creating a certain atmosphere within this club, but also a certain way of playing that makes it difficult for, well, I think the majority of the teams, of course, in the Premier League, because that's the coach that he is. That's what I think is in his mind as well. He wants to play attractive football, dominating football at times as well, going forward, scoring goals. That is what he's been trying to do with smaller teams even, and imagine now at Chelsea with this group of players. And also maybe, you know, when the transfer window opens up again, adding maybe a couple of other players as well, he's going to do, I think, very well. The only thing for him, and that's the difference between the other two, well, the other clubs that he's been, and with Chelsea as well, is to manage all these players and also bigger players within the squad to keep them happy and to also keep them working hard for him even when they're not playing, like what happens sometimes at other clubs.
Japs just said if he gets time. That's always the big question, isn't it, at Chelsea, if you're Chelsea manager?
It's the same at any club these days, I think. Getting time is the biggest problem. Look, I think today it's shown that Potter got his team wrong. You know, about having to make a change after half an hour. I think Ten Hag got it tactically right in the first half, especially with Fernandes coming into that midfield. He made it a 3 against 2, and Chelsea couldn't really cope with that. I think Chelsea as a top 4 team, as a team who's aspiring to be up towards the top of the league, I thought they were a little bit disappointing today. I think they should be the team at home trying to win the game, and I never really felt uncomfortable. I never felt like Chelsea were creating chances. I never felt like they were gonna score. So you probably got et up in a bit of a tactical battle and really forgot about doing the things that win games of football, which is, you know, because obviously creating chances, scoring goals. I think he worried about everything else rather than that. And as a United fan, I was more than happy with United. I thought more than deserved to win the game. And then I just never felt like he was in trouble. I thought Ten Hag got everything right, other than the subs. I wasn't mad keen on the subs. I think Fred come into the game didn't really have an effect on the game, and I think it ruined Fernandes as well. McTominay obviously come on and sub, and within 4 minutes, was it, he gave the penalty away. And you've got to learn with stuff. In a day of VAR, you cannot touch him anymore. You know, the years gone by when we could have done it in Italy. You know what it was like in Italy. You know, you could never move. There was people grabbing you. The VAR, you just can't do it. You don't get away with anything. So I think it was a victory for Ten Hag today. Okay, they didn't win the game, but I thought tactically he got it spot on.
Okay, victory for Ten Hag. Paul says.